Hey everyone, my name is Tierney Burridge. I have written the children's book, Zariah the Butterfly. It is designed to inspire young girls to be themselves. I also have a coloring book to go along with it. Check out my website, link will be in the bio. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Tierney, and today is going to be my review of Owns Belle Collective, Season 3, Episode 1. The episode starts off with Latrice Rogers. She has a multi-million dollar hair extension line. And of course, the show is based in Jackson, Mississippi. So the show started off with her and her husband having a conversation, and she has her assistant living with her and her husband, and the assistant feels like her husband Cliff is controlling. I think the assistant needs to kind of mind his business. And maybe stay out their marriage. I mean, I don't feel like as a single person he should be voicing an opinion about a married couple. And he said something to the fact that Cliff is, I think he said outspoken or something, and that's what he's attracted to. I'm like, you're barking up the wrong tree because Cliff is clearly not in that stage of his life with the same, gender. So, that's how, the show started off with Latrice and her husband and the assistant basically saying that he feels Latrice is being controlled by her husband. Next up is Letitia. She's the one who has done the brunches. Now, I must say that was very, very smart of her because I would have never thought to do brunches instead of Zoom calls or, emails. I've never thought to do brunches, and that's how she, made her fortune. And I mean, that was just brilliant to me, in my opinion. But that's how, that's her way of making her income. But her scene was by her and her husband, Glenn. And apparently, there has been infidelity on his end. So the scene was where they're at some play date with their son, and they had a conversation about Letitia wanting him to use protection when they were intimate. And I don't know, well, he said it, I guess he had issue with it, but I mean, if you've been stepping out on your wife, you can't really be mad if she wants that from you, because she has to protect herself. If you're going to be out having affairs or with whatever, she has the right to protect herself from anything. And so I know she did mention that he, I guess, is getting messages on social media and he responds. So I'm sure it has something to do with women maybe propositioning him or what have you, but and that's that. I guess that's normal in this day and time with social media. There was another show where there were married men on that show, and women were reaching out to them in their DMs as well. So I think, if someone is messaging you with inappropriately like that, you should maybe block them, because that could cause issues in your marriage. So that was it for basically this scene with Letitia and her husband Glenn. So let's get on with it. Next up is So Gucci. She is a real estate agent in Jackson, Mississippi. And she is the wife of JJ. His daughter, I'm not sure if it was all three of his daughters, but I know one of his daughters, I think her name was Sunjay, was on that show Bring It, that the girls dance and all that type of stuff. So he decides to make the wife So Gucci dinner, and I should have known he was up to something. So of course, he laid it out like he just wanted to do something nice and all that type of stuff. Then he went on to say that his mom wants to move in with them. And he did not discuss it with his wife prior to telling his mom that she could. So at dinner, he told her, and the wife was not happy. So Gucci was not happy about that. So she got her from the table and left. And I guess he thought, she was going to give in. Because he saw the mom get already. But so Gucci did not have that. And she left the table. And needless to say, I don't think he got any that night. Because that's what he was hoping for, I guess. So, yeah, that was So Gucci's segment. Next up is Miss Tambra Cherie. She is a radio personality in Jackson, Mississippi, and she's dating this man named Damond. And in their scene, she mentioned that she wants her own space. So, and then he kind of said something kind of disrespectful. He said something like, all she do is sit around in a chair all day because she's a radio personality. But I'm like, that's a job. Since she has to stay not hyper, but has to keep an upbeat mood, upbeat tone in her voice to keep people engaged in her show. And after a while, you start to get like a mellow voice, so then of course right after he said that, he kind of, straightened himself up. So, and she also made the comment that she thought the man she would live with would be her husband, but they're just dating. So I guess she feels like, well, you want to play house, so I'm not going to give you the playing house benefits, because he mentioned that they weren't having relations. I'm like, well, if you don't want to make her your wife, then you should not expect her to do wifely things. It's just me. That's my opinion. So, see, that was basically the gist of their scene. And the next Belle is a lady named Akeisha. She's married to a man called Willie, and he is a sports analyst, I believe, and he works in New York. So, Akeisha's story this episode was she, I guess, came back to Jackson while her husband's in New York, though, doing the sports analyst job. And she said that her family owned a property on the Fair Street. And if you all know the show, y'all know about Fair Street. It was once basically a black hub for black businesses, and them folks basically took it and, So since Akeisha has a property on that street, she's now trying to get the street back. to our people, basically. And so her singles with So Gucci, and they spoke about was it Marie? They spoke about Marie, or was it Tambra? One of them they spoke about, and I think Aikisha is a cool girl, is a cool lady. I like her. I really do like her. I think she may come off as maybe stuck up somewhat, but I like her. She's a cool girl. She's a cool lady to me. I like her. So that was basically her intro to this episode. So the next scene, they reintroduce Miss Marie Monroe. Oh my gosh, I just love her. And she also um, is a mogul in her own right. She has a medical empire. It's just stated on this episode that she has a makeup line. She has a fashion line, clothing line. And what was the other one? Makeup, fashion. Oh, and her hair extensions line. I just can't say how proud I am to see black women who are moguls and who are doing it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Who are gaining traction in this American environment. So yes, Miss Marie Monroe has made her debut on this show. So I'm happy for all the ladies. I mean, they all are successful in their own right. And I mean, as black women, they deserve it. We black women get, dogged out the most than any other race of women. But I'm glad to see these black women are doing very, very well for themselves. So, at the end of the episode, they showed Latrice out with one of her friends at a bar. And her husband Cliff shows up mad and pissed off because she's there. And he said something to the fact that she went out without his permission. And I'm like, Latrice is an adult. She's a grown woman in her 30s. Why does she need your permission to do anything or go to a bar with a girl or with a female friend? And I think her guy friend was there as well. But still, I mean, he basically showed himself to be controlling. And I kind of got that vibe from him on previous seasons. But I'm like, well, maybe I'm mistaken because, this is just a show and, we don't really see them 24/7. But based off this last scene, yeah, I think he has he has a controlling nature. And Latrice did state that he sometimes treat her not as his wife, but as his daughter. Now you control your daughter like that, where she can and cannot go. You have to ask permission. That's how you treat your daughter, not your wife. So Cliff has really shown in this scene that he does have a controlling streak in him. And I'm like, she just went to the bar with a female friend and her guy friend. Her friends. She's not out on a date. She's not, doing anything I don't think is in the wrong. And she said it was a last minute thing. He said something about there's no last minute when it comes to me. Something like that he said. So I'm like, maybe that's why her family don't really like him, because they probably peeped him a long time ago, but she just was so smitten with this older man. She just, I don't know. Like I say, well, like I've always have heard, the signs are there. And a person can only hide their true self only for so long, and the real them will come. So the fact that he's this mad and irate about her going to a bar with a female friend and a guy friend, he's being this controlling. He's been this way all the time. We're just now seeing it on the camera. It's probably like this maybe way before they got married, but who knows. But I don't like that. She's a grown woman with businesses that she's running basically, without you. And you're gonna treat her like she's a 2-year-old, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really didn't really care for Cliff in the prior seasons, but I really dislike him now because this was uncalled for. Where, she said people were outside watching them, and I could see that they were just regular people. They're on a TV show that's probably been seen countrywide. So people know them, people recognize them. Then the cameras are out there, so they know something's going on. It's probably a TV show, and they recognize them. And he's out there, you know, acting silly. So yeah, I mean, I've never really cared for Latrice's husband. I really don't care for her now after she did so Gucci the way that she did with the real estate building that she's trying to get. So this has been my review of Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 1. So if you all like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel and leave a comment. I would love to interact with you all. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.